We're in trouble in America. We're losing our moral bearings. We're losing our respect for the rule of law. And you look around America today and things are bad and they're getting worse. We're broke. We're dispirited. We're scared. We've been moving closer and closer to socialism, further away from God, the Constitution, doing what's right in our own eyes, and all the while, not noticing that it's killing us. It's killing our nation.
Just beginning.
Americans tend to be too comfortable, slowly but surely turning their backs on the sacrifices their forefathers made for liberty. Why is that? As bad as it is, as horrible as it seems, as unlikely as it appears that we can escape, what we're going through can actually be a vitally necessary experience for us, and one that is ultimately very healthy and liberating for this country. The truth needs to be told in all the dark places, because it's the truth that sets us free.
WorldNetDaily Live is on the air. It is December 11, 2024. And Matt and Josh are here with you. It's the Ghost Gun episode. We are going to dive deep into the shocking case here of Luigi Mangione. He is the alleged shooter of the UnitedHealthcare CEO, Brian Thompson. We'll also cover the UFOs over New Jersey, or the drones, whatever they are. We're going to get into that. And if you're also a fan of Brett Cooper over on Daily Wire, the news finally is official. She has left Daily Wire, so we'll take a gander into that as well. So stay tuned for that. But let's bring in Josh Turnbow here as well. Josh, good afternoon to you, sir.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Happy Wednesday.
Yes, it is a Wednesday. We are on the hump day. Before we get going here, let's do some business here with Patriot Mobile, because we love these guys over here at Patriot Mobile. They're America's only Christian conservative wireless provider, and they continue that legacy by standing for faith, family, and freedom. And we here at WorldNetDaily are happy to partner with them. So if you go to patriotmobile.com/WNDPatriot and switch your mobile service from one of those other terrible providers that just, advance the woke agenda, of course, over and over again, you're going to make sure that your dollars, when you send them to this company, because they donate some of their profits to Christian conservative causes. So what better way to fight the culture fight than to be on Patriot Mobile, because they share our values. So scan the QR code or use the promo code WND Patriot. There's multiple ways, easy ways for you to join that family. All right, well, let's get into this, Josh. We knew when this story broke, when they caught this Luigi guy, that we were just like, man, there are so many questions. And I mean, we'll get to it, but now they think they have fingerprints from the crime scene when I don't even see the guy touching anything. I don't know how they got fingerprints, but we'll get into that. But let's first get into what we know about him. This first image here, Shadow of Ezra over on X, which is a great account that likes to share a lot of details here. This is what they found and posted, that Luigi seemed to have it all before vanishing from his social circle. He's an heir to a prominent resort chain. He came from a wealthy family with no criminal record. He had no red flags, and he was a polished, photogenic presence on social media. He had a high IQ. He had internships. He appeared destined for success. And the question is asking, is MK Ultra a part of his of this total operation here? So, Josh, what do you think so far based on that kind of information?
Yeah, I wonder, guys, can we click on that image of him in the tweet there? I wanted to show that. Yeah, I mean, this is seems like a kid who had it all. You said it, Matt, and now he looks like an unhinged killer. We have a video of him. So you can see him here on the far right, clean cut. It's just a frat boy, no big deal. Came from a good family, whatever that means nowadays. At least he came from a stable. Our understanding is a stable family and one with wealth. Not a slacker, right? He's valedictorian at his high school, goes on to UPenn and gets 2 degrees there. That's a big deal. But then we have the contrast of that with, guys, if we could pull up that video of him being arrested, it seems a little bit different, doesn't it?
Yeah.
We'll show that here. Just 1 second.
Down.
Whoa, back up. That's completely out of touch. And the insult to the intelligence of the American people and its lived experience.
He seemed to say at the top of that, this is extremely...
Matt, if you're being arrested completely unjustly, I'm just asking this question for the audience too. If you're being arrested completely unjustly, what are your words going to be coming out of your mouth the minute you get to speak? What are you going to say?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't do it. I mean, I'm going to profess something.
I didn't do it.
Yeah,
I'm innocent. I'm innocent.
This is all a fiasco, a joke.
Yeah, you would be yelling.
Even against the advice of my lawyer, right?
Yeah.
He would say, "Don't say a word. Don't say anything." I'd be like, This is I'd be saying what he was saying. That being said, though, Josh, I mean, that's kind of like what you would say if you're also.
If you've been MK Ultra, is that what you're going to get at?
Yeah, if you've been MK Ultra or you're part of, we're going to dive into a lot of this stuff. There's so many questions, and like we feel like we have been just, when it comes to assassinations, right? Like we still don't know. We still don't know why Thomas Crooks had all of those bank accounts across the country, right? We still are across the world, or even the Hawaiian or Ukrainian guy, pro-Ukrainian guy that tried to off Trump on the golf course. Like we still don't know anything about that. Yet this guy is caught literally red-handed with everything on him that would need to prove that he's here, and now he's being dragged into an arraignment hearing or an extradition hearing, saying that the American people are stupid. They're going to see right through this, and I'm starting to go down that rabbit hole.
Yeah, I'm kind of torn between, like his behavior is weird to me because, he says things like the American people are going to see through this. Just say you're innocent, dude. That'll be a great start. Here's the image of the gun. So this is getting a lot of attention as a ghost gun, but what this is, and actually we called the episode Ghost Gun today, but like what we're getting at is like, this is a mysterious figure. It's not literally about the dumb gun. Okay. So this is is this
supposed to be the firearm that was on him?
This is the police are claiming this is the firearm, but what like normal folks don't maybe realize, we're going to explain that here today, is this is a metal gun on the top. Okay. The important parts cannot be 3D printed, like the barrel.
Right.
And I think liberals on the East Coast are like, oh, they 3D print guns now. Yeah, to some degree. But what we see there is that, go ahead and bring that back up, guys. Just put it beside us. That's a Glock, okay, with what's called an 80% lower. That means the lower is usually not registered. That's why they call it a ghost gun. Mm-hmm. But what we see on the end of that barrel is threads, and that's where you would put the suppressor, which we haven't found yet, apparently. So he shot him with a Glock. So, now we know that it was a Glock. It's not a 3D printed right-wing ghost gun, everybody, okay? So now that we know that. And then the other picture we had here is interesting because it's of the kid. So they caught him at a McDonald's. So the media immediately threw up this image, but we learned when we were doing our research that this is an old image from 2019. Is that right, guys?
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Well, yeah. I mean, he's wearing a surgical mask.
Yeah. He's at McDonald's, but this is not the picture of when he was caught. No. So, the media being clever, they're like, quick, get the picture of him at a McDonald's.
Right.
Okay. But we don't know the status of that. So this is a major mystery right now. Well, this is a huge mystery. They say they have their suspect. Oh, what's the motive, Matt? It's, oh, he hates healthcare. How do we know that? There's a manifesto already. Have we seen that? No. Oh, we have. Is it out?
Yeah, the
Do we have an image
manifesto.
of it?
Yeah, I don't know if we. Yeah,
Breaking too soon for me, Matt.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, the manifesto's out, blaming the healthcare system.
Well, okay, yeah. So predictably, it's going to blame the healthcare system. But there's this weird period of time where the guy disappeared, and his friends didn't even know where he was for a while. We have this video with his roommate, a former roommate that he lived with, who kind of talks about the guy's state of mind.
Did this guy do drugs?
Absolutely none that I was aware of. We were roommates for about 6 months at Surf Break co-living, and the entire time that he lived at Surf Break, he was a great community member. He kind of followed by our values and our ethics to leave things better than you found them. He was always contributing, taking care of other people, and even after he moved out, he came and hung out and contributed to the community, spearheaded a book club. He and I became closer friends, working out, going to yoga classes, playing volleyball. He's the kind of guy who was doing his best to take care of himself, despite having some severe back pain and a severe issue.
So he had the back pain, but was doing yoga and volleyball and messing around like that. Was this affecting his sex life?
So he was athletic as long as he could be. I know there were days and perhaps even a week at a time where he was bedridden. So he was doing what he could when he could. I couldn't comment about his sex life or, any of our roommates' sex life, just out of respect for their privacy.
I totally understand. So did he ever mention anything about the Unabomber or any other radical ideas?
So I mentioned one of the great ways he contributed to the surf break community was by spearheading a book club. And he presented a bunch of interesting books to read. I think we started with Outliers by Malcolm Gladwell. And a few texts in, I actually proposed that we read, it's kind of half joke, but read the Unabomber Manifesto. I always wanted to read it, but never got around to it. So that was my suggestion. We had a normal discussion, debate around it.
Yeah.
Nothing really that stood out at the time. No anger, no a special affinity towards it. Just, thought-provoking discussion.
You suggested reading Ted Kaczynski's book. Why? Why were you interested in that?
I have an academic background, and I really enjoy reading just about anything, different perspectives, right, left, middle, progressive, things about ancients, the future, and wanted to understand a little bit more about what he wrote, why he wrote it, and maybe some historical context around that.
Okay, there's a lot of academic books. That's just interesting that tickled your fancy. Did you turn him on to the Unabomber? It sounds
that's
like
that's a weird segue there. Tickled the fancy.
I wouldn't say I turned him on to it, but it was my selection for our book club.
Okay, because the manifesto that we got our hands on cites that quite often. Do you feel strange now that this guy who you lived 6 months with has now been picked up on murder charges?
I feel strange because he was a great friend, and I would consider him, a close friend. And
so, Matt,
somebody who would assassinate somebody is completely incompatible with the person that I lived with, the person that I cooked meals with, the person that.
Yeah. So what is that? I mean, what is he trying to tell us there? Like,
this guy's weird, is what what I'm picking up here. This dude's super weird, man.
He is, but again, what's he trying to say? Is he trying to say like Luigi snapped, like, or this isn't him, like this is incompatible with what I knew, but at the same time I was the one that suggested we read the Unabomber Manifesto.
Yeah. He's like, as his CIA handler.
Yeah, really, seriously. And then asking if he, and then of course Jesse asking, have you ever seen him do drugs? Has he ever been on any, psychedelics or anything like that? Like, and the guy saying no, not that he's ever seen, but I mean, the reason this story just gets more and more strange is because of who Luigi's family is, because apparently he has a legacy in in Baltimore or at least the East Coast there that even connects him to Nancy Pelosi. I mean, this goes really bizarre. Shadow of Ezra once again digging into the into the historical files. Nancy Pelosi and her brother, who was Thomas D'Alessandro III, are connected to Luigi. Because his grandfather, Nicholas Mangione, in 1989 Washington Post article, D'Alessandro, the former mayor of Baltimore, defended Mangione's reputation, calling him big-hearted despite investigations into human rights violations and regulatory shortcuts tied to his business practices. So here you have an historical family. It could be just a strange coincidence because these people are always around each other when you're kind of like these legacy elite families. That being said, though, for this guy's grandson to end up, it doesn't surprise me the pedigree that he has grown into, going to university, being involved in a valedictorian and getting all the education and stuff that he needed. But now to kind of transition into this thing where he's an assassin of a health insurance CEO. I mean, it's
a big jump.
That's a big jump.
Yeah.
That's a big jump. And you kind of wonder, it makes you wonder, like, well, I mean, it just makes you wonder.
So now they're claiming he has a to-do list that they found, right? So this is
here was his to-do list. Who's this? Colin Rugg? Yeah, Colin Rugg. He thanked the feds as well. But according to CNN, Mangione was thrilled to be able to carry out the attack in New York because nothing could be better to kill the CEO at his own bean counting conference. And then, quote, to the feds, I'll keep this short because I do respect what you do for your country. To save you a lengthy investigation, I state plainly that I wasn't working with anyone. And his former roommate seems completely different person. And we saw him say
we saw that
quote there at the bottom. So, so again, I was working completely alone. He says this in a manifesto, yet he's now on record being pulled into his extradition hearing.
Yeah.
Saying the American people are going to see right through this.
I'm confused. I'm confused, right? Because feds.
By design. By
feds.
design, Josh.
Yeah. Well, now we gotta hear him talk. If he ends up hung in his cell, then we're talking about a conspiracy for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Folks, you're watching us on Rumble, you're over on X, wherever you are. Put some of your own theories into the chat box here, into the comment section, because we want to hear from you. We want to know what you guys are thinking, because this is bizarre. The more these pieces come together.
We should show this next image, Matt. Okay, so this is internet sleuthing here.
Oh, right. Yeah.
So if you look closely, this Twitter, I can't see his name. Champagne Josh. Okay, so he's essentially done this little diagram. If you can see here, the distance between the eyebrows.
Right.
So in the first image that we ever saw, the masked person, I guess I'm not going to think that image is clear enough, but in the first image, you can't distinguish the eyebrows being far apart, and in the second image, obviously, he almost has a single eyebrow.
Yeah. So what is the top image from? Is that from
that is like
the hostel?
That's from the Starbucks. That's the first leaked image from the Starbucks.
Okay, so the Starbucks guy closely matches what we see in the shooting video.
He's got the same backpack, the same jacket, everything.
But the guy in the hostel matches more.
Yeah.
With Luigi.
Right, Matt, we need a receipt. We essentially need to see a receipt that says it has like 3 different jackets on it, where maybe that's going to become from the Marshalls that he went to, or the TJ Maxx.
Yeah.
But essentially, just kept doing wardrobe changes, or that's what we're led to believe.
There's
John Wick. John Wick weighing in as an assassin. This guy just go hang out at McDonald's with all evidence until someone noticed his social media post. Yeah. It is weird. There's an element of like him wanting to be caught.
Yeah, I mean, we said that on Monday. It just sounded like he like woke up out of a daze. Someone packed him his backpack full of all the evidence and sent him into McDonald's for hash browns and a McMuffin.
Right.
I don't understand this story, and I feel like that's by design. I
feel you on this. Yeah.
So then look at this. Then Benny Johnson. Is this the Benny Johnson one?
Yeah.
He says breaking Luigi's fingerprints match those from the scene. Police report via CNN. What?
Everybody knows that's doable pretty easily. You know what I mean? Like they found him on there was the water bottle and the two, like the energy bars. Remember they found those right away?
Oh, because he was eating those and he threw them down or something?
Yeah. Just left him at the scene and walked away. Now that's
all right.
That's dismissible. I think if we're going to go down okay. The Kira producer wants to come in. Go ahead.
Hey, just a ghost voice here.
Ghost voice. Go ahead.
It's notable that, remember, the suspect Luigi, who was at the hostel, right? A hostel is a place where you stay with multiple people in a room, right? So like he could have drank a bottle of water, eaten an energy bar, and dropped any of that trash anywhere that someone then potentially maybe could have collected and left conveniently at the scene. This is the speculation.
That's conspiracy speculation.
The conspiracy speculation online that's swirling because of the eyebrows and the
right, because
change and the backpack's difference. That what if this was just
but of course the simplest, Occam's razor, right? The simplest explanation is probably the most likely one. And but it's also bizarre that you would go kill somebody drinking water and energy bars and just throw it onto the ground so that anybody could find it. I mean, this whole story is so bizarre. I don't even know what the most simplest explanation for it is yet. So
and
that one sounds even more. Sounds simpler.
you ditch the backpack with Monopoly money. You write words on the bullets, but then you disappear for 5 days and then conveniently show up with the gun, the suppressor, and the manifesto in your pocket.
And then a guy that you lived with for 6 months says, "I'll talk to the press."
Yeah. And I'm the one that said to read the Ted Kaczynski book.
Yeah. Like perfect. Another perfect piece of the puzzle.
If that roommate gets arrested, nobody's going to be surprised, by the way.
I would not be surprised. That is bizarre.
The roommates in Mexico,
yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I saw where
when
he was. Well, on the video, it shows that he's tuning in from Mexico.
From Mexico. No, when did he get there? When did he go there?
Well, I don't know, but I'm sure he has a clear.
All right, internet. Come on, John Wick. RJ Martin. Let's go find this out. This is incredible, guys. This is incredible, and it makes your head spin. It makes your head spin a little bit. But we're gonna keep getting to it. What was this other? Did we pass by another post here? Oh no, that was the eyebrow post. Okay, good. All right. Well, look, I think if anything, folks, if you're paying attention to any of this stuff and it's making you feel like you're coming down with something, or your head's getting a little foggy, and I encourage you to at least double check your symptoms and go get yourself some Z-Stack. The Zelenko protocol. The Zelenko protocol from Dr. Zelenko, the great Dr. Zelenko, he developed the Z-Stack. He developed a bunch of this stuff, Z-Night, all of these things that protect your family and keep your immune system prepped and ready, because this is the flu and cold season. These products are kosher. They're non-GMO. They're made in America. And if you scan that QR code, it'll take you right to the page where you can get 5% off if you use the code WND. You never know when I'm going to segue to an ad, but when we do it. We try to do it with style. Click the link in the description, scan that QR code, and get yourself some Z-Stack. We're not doctors, by the way.
It's been said that we're not doctors.
It's been said. Yeah, non-doctor Matt Edwards. All right. Well, we're gonna keep tabs on the Luigi story. Obviously, go to WorldNetDaily.com, WND.com, and of course follow all of the breaking stuff on Twitter, and if your Instagram is working, on Instagram as well. But we'll get into that later. All right. What do we want to jump into here? What's next here?
Oh, no big deal. As if the world wasn't just weird enough. UFOs over New Jersey, guys.
Oh my God. And then they're saying shoot them down. Who's going to shoot them down? What are these drones? Are they UFOs? Are they drones? The congressman says mystery drones are launching from enemy mothership off of the U.S. East Coast. I mean, if anything, go read that article by our good friend Joe Kovacs over there on WND. But if anything screamed of like, please pay attention to me, it's the use of the word mothership off the coast, shooting drones at it, launching drones.
Yeah, there's a bit of hysteria to this. There's some weird sightings, but I feel like more hysteria than I think I actually tweeted an image of one of the quote unquote drone shots that someone got from their backyard. Do we have that, Alex? Yeah, we'll put that up. Let's see. Oh wait, I see it. Well, I guess we're not going to put that up. We're going to put up a video of commentary. Let's put up the video of government officials weighing in to tell us that it might be a mothership. Do we have that?
Well, here's the real deal, Harris. I'm also on the Transportation Committee, on the Aviation Subcommittee, and I've gotten to know people. And from very high sources, very qualified sources, very responsible sources, I'm going to tell you the real deal. Iran launched a mothership probably about a month ago that contains these drones. That mothership is off, I'm going to tell you the deal. It's off the east coast of the United States of America. They've launched drones, is everything that we can see or hear. And again, these are from high sources. I don't say this lightly. Now, we know there was a probability it could have been our own government. We know it's not our own government because they...
Okay.
Excuse me.
Those are jets. You morons.
What is this? Did he misspeak and say Iranians instead of aliens? Who uses the term mothership unless you're talking about aliens? I don't understand the terminology he used there. What is a mothership? Is he talking about a flying ship that's like a C-14 that's letting out drones? Or is he talking about a off the coast like a boat? Like, what's he talking about? Why? If Iran has a mothership off the coast launching things into our airspace, where's the president of the United States? I've seen this movie before.
Right?
Jack Nicholson comes out and he's supposed to save everybody.
I'm sorry,
at least start the war.
That image. That's what that is.
That looks like a jet.
The UFO orbs, those are interesting. They don't
look like a jet with the wings. You got one color on one side, one on the other.
Even that video he showed in the Fox interview, it's a freaking jet landing, guys.
Yeah.
They have red and green lights that blink.
Yes.
I don't know what this is. It's a weird story. There's like nobody to come out and go, stop. Like, you just filmed the jet landing in Newark Airport. Like, there might be this is the thing. This dumb congressman or whoever he was, this guy's perfectly capable of hearing some kind of like offhand intel report that the Iranians have a ship. Every country sits ships in the water outside legally too. Usually they're like a fishing vessel or some garbage. And they can like try to pick up radio calls, right? Some are more sophisticated and they can try to intercept phone calls and stuff. Everybody does that. What does that have to do with the drone hysteria over New Jersey? I'm sorry if you love all this. If you guys like this stuff, the UFO stuff, I apologize. Okay. It's just dumb.
But I think they're trying to conflate the two, right? There have been reports, like we have a map here.
Conflated.
We have a map here of all of these drone sightings in New Jersey. New Jersey. So apparently these places, there are reports of mysterious drones spotted. And look, if people are reporting drones, I will go with that they think that's what they're seeing versus them seeing planes, because we see planes in the sky all the time, and you can differentiate between what a plane is doing and what a drone is doing. And so And so for this guy to then come out and then that Fox to show that footage and him say there's an Iranian mothership off the coast.
Matt,
Like the CIA is in full meltdown control. They do not want Donald Trump sworn in on January. I just all of this stuff is just feels like it's related to Trump taking over.
The next thing is they're going to say, we need a committee. Okay, it always comes next.
Well, what is we need
a committee.
Well, here's some breaking news right here. He's going to be former soon, but FBI Director Christopher Wray is resigning. It says here. This is being reported. He resigns before Trump is coming into there. Yeah, so the rats are abandoning ship. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know who Biden's going to appoint in the interim. Who is the deputy director over there? I mean, I guess they're going to take over. But that's big news. You wonder why he doesn't want to be there through the next 45 days or so.
Well, because there's a mothership off the coast, and you don't want to be near that mothership.
Oh my!
When it does what it's going to do.
Motherships of all types are very dangerous. There's another mothership that's apparently pretty dangerous. It's called the Daily Wire.
Oh, the segues, man. Good one.
I get you. But unless you want to, keep going on the UFOs, again, I don't know what's going on over there, but
I can't help but say, okay, like I get it if it's a slow news day. It's not a slow news day.
It's never
going to be. But like the New Jersey thing's really a really weird sidestep of they're showing anybody with any dumb video they can. Now, there's some legitimate videos that are really fascinating, like the F-18s filming. This is a few years back, filming some orb they were chasing, right?
Sure.
Indistinguishable orb. Really fascinating. But the other thing, it's just jets flying overhead. But I don't know why it's getting the attention. It's really strange.
And I've never seen that congressman before, so it feels like he's been activated for some reason. I don't want to.
Right.
I don't know anything about him, but I've never seen him before. But he is the New Jersey congressman, I imagine. So I guess that's why he's getting the attention here. John Wick, is that a flying mothership or a large barge off the coast? We don't know.
Okay, I want to show this. I'm going to show this quick clip here, just so people can see. So there are weird things. It's on the wrong one here. Let me go get it. There are weird things going on. Okay. And then I'm going to show a simulated image of like what people think it is. And
simulation.
It's the simulation. Yeah. Guys, can we throw up that weird simulation video? Yeah, go ahead and let's play that.
What is that?
Okay, so this is a rendering, okay? But like
this is okay.
Okay, but this is like what they believe the cameras are seeing when they see the strange orbs. Right?
Who created that?
I just found it on X, but so for a while people have been like,
do you see how real that looks? Real quick, Josh, do you see how real that looks? This is why you can't believe anything on the internet. Like, I don't even know if you're real. I'm sitting here in my office. I'm talking to a camera. I have no idea what's going on. And then I see this thing and what is that? So go ahead and explain it. Why did somebody render that out?
Someone rendered that because they were kind of referencing these orbs that people are capturing, not the landing planes, but orbs that they kind of don't look like they have a physical shape. They look like they're round.
They look organic in nature.
Yeah. And so this was just a simulation someone made. And, I'm all about that stuff when it's real or close to it.
Yeah. All right. Well, back to what I mentioned about Daily Wire. So Daily Wire decides to cut ties with Brett Cooper, who I'm not exactly too familiar with Brett Cooper. I think I might have aged out of her audience here.
Yeah, we're a little old for her audience.
Yeah, but here's Brett Cooper announcing her parting ways from Daily Wire, and then we'll get into it.
Hey guys, some of you have heard the rumors online, and the rumors are mostly true. Today, December 10th, will be my last day hosting the comment section and working for the Daily Wire. It is not true that I am being forced out. It was my own choice to leave. And believe me, this is bittersweet. I have had the most unbelievable 3 years helping to craft the show, building this community, and telling stories and sharing the truth every day. Through the comment section, you all have made me braver, more articulate, more thoughtful, more hopeful than I could have ever imagined. And I'm grateful that we spent this time together. And I'm grateful that the Daily Wire gave us a platform to grow this community. But at this point in my life, I am ready to take on a new direction, both personally and professionally. This means new challenges and new endeavors, which I will share with you soon.
All right. Well, I mean, I will say that's one of the first times I've ever seen her speak. I like her sweater. She's wearing a full coverage. You don't see that a lot with nice young ladies
with
like
influencers.
That. So, yeah, I applaud her for that. But 3 years she was at Daily Wire.
Yeah. So just as some background, Brett Cooper is hugely popular for Zoomers, primarily male and female. She's got a great audience that they love her take. She's very conservative. She was recently married. She lives on a farm in Tennessee. But what we have seen, and it's sad, but Daily Wire is having trouble holding on to some of their talent. That's not unusual. Talent, is scarce, so they can make their own deals, and if they're not comfortable with the deal they have, they leave. And the last person to do that at Daily Wire was Candace Owens, and so we don't know what's going to happen. Apparently, Candace is going to make an announcement as well. I don't know if those are related, but in the conservative media sphere, this is interesting because people are going to take the best opportunity they can. They don't need the middleman anymore. That's kind of where we are in the media sphere. As Elon said, we are the media now. What he means is everyone with a voice can be heard through, fair outlets, mostly like X, a Rumble as well. So,
well, what's interesting too, though, is that Daily Wire, when it carved itself out and started growing as a media company, it was because they didn't want to deal with the middlemen. So they were the independent media. And so it's interesting when you start doing that, you start contracting with, more personalities and growing, and then you become what you didn't like before, what you tried to break free from. And so, and of course we saw last year or a year and a half ago that fallout with Steven Crowder, when Crowder called out, I guess he was in talks to possibly go to Daily Wire. I mean, Daily Wire was picking up a lot of huge talent. I mean, they came out of the gate with obviously Ben Shapiro there and Andrew Klavan and Michael Knowles. But then we saw, Jordan Peterson come on board, and Matt Walsh, Candace Owens, of course, this girl here, Brett Cooper, and whoever else is on their channel now. But it's interesting to see, what you just described kind of grow a little bit bigger than what maybe people expected. And, they're a big company, especially in the conservative space, but when you're putting out, feature films, you're a big company. You're not small potatoes.
Yeah, that's not a small operation over there. And, this is going to happen. We hope they figure it out. John Wick was saying they had planned to do a Snow White film starring Brett Cooper that would compete against the Disney super woke version of Snow White that's having a ton of trouble. And that is now canceled. So with Brett leaving, so will that.
I'd be curious to read that script. Were they going to go like true to the story, or were they?
I think that was the whole goal. I don't know if they were going to have her using one of the Jeremy's razors or anything in the middle of it to make an ad. But
well, speaking of that, Josh, you'll love this. Speaking of that Snow White, the one that's coming out, the woke, I guess you can call it the woke version, right? Apparently, at some point when the dwarfs discover Snow White in their house, instead of saying, "Oh, look, it's a girl," or "Look, it's a woman," or something like that, like we traditionally have seen in the Snow White story, they go, "Oh, look, it's a human," which then of course implies that they're not. So are dwarves not human?
No, apparently they're not.
Ooh, see what happens when you play those woke games? It comes around and bites you.
Yeah, they didn't want to say it's a birthing person.
No, they didn't. So they had to go with human, and then just imply that they're not. So good job, guys.
Anybody remember what did the dwarves say in the original cartoon? Did they say it's a girl, or?
I think they say it's a girl, at least in the Disney cartoon version. You know, of course, there's it comes from, isn't it a Brothers Grimm story?
Yeah,
too. Yeah,
I think so.
Go read the original text and find out what they said. Speaking of dwarves, Josh, I know I'm going off the rails here, But we've got a platform here, and I'm going to use it. Santa Claus.
Yeah.
Santa Claus. I don't know what happened when Santa Claus became a big giant guy. Mm-hmm. Santa Claus has never been a big giant guy. If you read 'Twas the Night Before Christmas, he is described as a jolly old elf who comes down a chimney.
Yeah. An elf.
He's an elf. He's a little guy. Santa is a little guy. That's why he can come down the chimney. So
you're saying he's not a great big fat person.
No, he should never be portrayed that way. So if you're out there this holiday season, you need a rabbit hole to go down. You go down that one, and you come at me on X, True Matt Edwards, and tell me what you find, because the guy's a jolly old elf. He's not a little guy. All right, sorry for that. Make America Healthy Again has inspired even the youngest among us. Josh, here it is. A Pennsylvania teenager apparently is suing 11 major food companies for engineering ultra-processed foods that are addictive and as a result have caused him chronic illness in the form of type 2 diabetes, non-alcoholic fatty liver disease by the age of 16. Holy cow. He is suing Coke, Conagra brands, I don't know what they make, General Mills, Kellanova, Kraft Heinz, Mars, Mondelez International, Nestle USA, Post Holdings, and the Kellogg Company. The lawsuit is his first of its kind. So
it's kind of awesome.
I knew you were going to say that. I'm kind of taking a different take on this, but tell me why it's awesome.
I just wanted to make sure that you saw that John Wick said, "Did a little kid mistake Matt for Santa?" Oh.
Oh boy, it's happened. It's happened.
No, I mean the slender Santa for sure.
Oh, no, that's not true.
What's your take on this, Matt? I'm curious.
Well, I mean, I understand it, right? You're like, oh, we had no idea that that I was going to develop these horrible chronic illnesses, which is it's a real thing. But at the same time, Apple Jacks every morning, Nabisco, Oreos, the Doritos. Yeah. I mean, I don't have to know that I'm going to develop type 2 diabetes to know that stuff's just not sustainable as a lifestyle, you know? So
sure. It's
kind of like blaming the gun manufacturer for using the gun in a way that you shouldn't. I mean, are there responsible ways to enjoy these foods? Absolutely. And that being said, I'm all for the discovery in this, because if it truly does come out that, you know, red dye or blue dye number 4 that you know colors all the Fruit Loops and whatnot is directly linked to X chronic disease, then yeah, for sure. Why is that in our food? You know. Well,
I'm with you. I think I like this because, you know, gone are the days of like, hey, you shouldn't eat that; it'll make you fat. Now it's, hey, that is giving you cancer. There's just a big distinction between like making you unfit and making you unwell. That's the thing I want to know. So like, I just heard, it's unofficial, but like, you know, Eggo waffles, delicious, right? They have aluminum in them. Why do Eggo waffles have freaking aluminum?
I don't know, man.
What's that got to do with a battered, you know, toasted thing? And the answer is gonna be, what's it gonna be, Matt? It's gonna be, it helped, you know, its shelf life, and therefore a profit.
Perhaps, yeah, perhaps, you know? Yeah.
And I don't want to. Nobody says aluminum's good for you. There's just no studies suggest ingestion of aluminum is good for you.
Right. I mean, there's also a part of me that says like, well, when these companies go so global, yeah, and then these global interests look at America and say, we need to, you know, we can't destroy them militarily. So how would we destroy them, you know, by their society? And it's poison their food. So, well, I mean, I can't believe how many, you know, this whole Make America Healthy Again stuff with the gluten and the wheat and all this stuff, where you see people that are like, oh, I import my flour from Europe, and all of a sudden I don't have inflammation anymore when I eat bread. Like,
yeah, that's a real thing. I'm seeing
how does that happen?
We do that. I mean, we use Italian flour in my house just because we're trying to avoid that. But dude,
well, there you go. And do you notice a difference?
No, I'm still fat, so I'm trying. Yeah, man. Like, okay, there. But the one thing that, you know, we heard from RFK Jr. was the food companies know the food might make you sick, but then we have the pharmaceutical companies to help us with the solution. a solution that we didn't need before because we didn't have the food issues before. This used to come from my hippie friends, but now I'm starting to buy into it myself. Seems like it's pretty clear, especially if you just look at other societies that don't do this.
Right.
I mean, one of the healthiest is the Japanese. They smoke cigarettes and they're still pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah. Yep. Well, either way, I like what you said. Like looking at foods, not necessarily like, oh, is that going to make me fat? It's like, is that going to give me chronic disease? You know? I like that. So I think we're going to do that. All right. We have another breaking story here we want to get to. According to Politico, Donald Trump has been selected as Time Magazine's Person of the Year, or as they used to call it, the Man of the Year. I get it, obviously.
Everybody's kind of getting in line, right?
It's
weird. It's weird.
And I'll be curious to know if it's in a celebratory fashion. Sometimes the person of the year can be somebody pretty, or at least in the past, pretty nefarious, but I have a feeling that this is going to be looked upon as some sort of, at least hopefully down middle of the line reaction here. But that's congratulations to Donald Trump. Has he won it before? Did he win it in 2016 when he was elected? I guess we'd have to go back and
he did.
look at that. He did. Okay.
I would be shocked if they give him like a fair photographic treatment or something like that. I would expect them to make him foreboding.
Yeah.
I could totally be wrong. Maybe they just go for it. But my guess would be that they can't not want to be like drive fear into the hearts of dumb people, Right. What was interesting that I noticed, and I wasn't the only one to notice this, but when Trump there is that 2016 or is that now? That is 2016.
That was the 2016 one. Okay,
yeah.
So that's not a bad photo there,
But they do, like speaking from, this is a very strange pose, right? You want to go back to that real quick, guys? So
dive into it.
Yeah. So he's turned away. So, yes. Okay. So if I had to give some analysis to this photo, this is an upset father. Like, why are you up right now? He's in his chair, turning back. His face is half in shadow. Half in shadow is always a foreboding thing. I can't see a glint of light in his eye. Can we make it bigger at all, guys? Enhance.
Right. Oh, also it says President of the Divided States of America.
Right.
So there you go.
They divided his face with light.
Oh, and look at the M. They gave him horns.
There you go.
Yeah.
They don't do photos like this without serious consideration of
that's right.
What is in the photo. I even guarantee
he looks like the devil now that I'm just looking at it all right now. He just looks like a foreboding devil. So I take back what I said at the top.
Yeah, it's a beautiful image, but it's also 100% meant to have subconscious.
Well, so either they do a nice this is what they should do. They either do a good portrait of him, right? Mm-hmm. Just a simple, basic portrait without any clues, hinting around. Or they have to post the butler photo,
Man, I don't think they will, but they should have, decided that was the moment. But
the interesting thing about these magazines is what I was going to say before is when Trump won in 2016, there was almost a complete total blackout in the magazine world of not just Trump, but Melania. You would have thought that a cover girl like Melania, who's had in her past, would have been on, the glam, all of the Good Housekeeping, Vogue. I mean, all of the magazine, just like Michelle Obama was. Mm-hmm. I mean, Michelle Obama was on these. I mean, you couldn't walk through the supermarket during those 8 years of the Obamas and not see Michelle Obama staring back at you on the magazine rack. And so, but there was, and I took note. This was something I took note through the entire 4 years. I never saw Melania on one of those fashion magazines or cultural magazines.
Right.
They of course were on the tabloids, of course, but she was never on that. And I'm very curious to see going into these next 4 years if these companies who are starving, they're going bankrupt, if they put Melania on the cover of one of these magazines. and you're standing in the aisle at the grocery store, you're gonna snag it, because she's popular.
It's quite an idea, right?
Yeah, imagine.
She's popular, by the way, guys. Maybe we should take a picture of her and talk to her.
Yeah.
No, they never get it, Matt.
They don't get it. They don't get it. Which means let's we have to do our last. I'm not going to segue to it. There's no way for me to segue to this.
Speaking of not getting it.
Yeah. But you know what I did get from Difrico, guys? Let's throw that up there. Difrico, the home of the Kung Fu grip. This will fit your AR platforms, your M4 platforms, and your AR-10, your SR-25 platforms. This has a reduced angle. It provides a natural fighting posture when firing from their modern standing and prone position. 12-degree angle, you guys. And I just got the plug on the bottom. Those.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
That just came in because I didn't realize it didn't have a bottom at all. So I was like, I got to get a bottom. But scan the QR code. It'll take you right to the page where you can then put 1, 2, 3, 4, 10 of them in your cart. They make great stocking stuffers. The packaging they come in is fantastic. This is the QR code and the link. The link is in the description. It's Difrico is the name of the company, and they're great folks out there. So get yourself on board. Do you have it in front of you today? No,
I don't. I have I can't reach the packaging, but yeah, I don't have it in front of me today. It's in the safe.
That's fine. Right now. You guys have to go back a few episodes and check out the firearms.
I'll have it up here, Friday. Yeah.
Very good. All right. Well, are we going to go out? I really don't want to see this Google commercial.
I want to play this.
People need to see it. I know.
I want to apologize ahead of time that we're going to play this. This is a Google Christmas commercial from Google. Okay.
I can't even look at it. I'll listen, but I won't look at it.
Don't turn away from the horrors of Google. Okay. That's not it. We're going to play this and then we'll
so dry. This winter dryness is not it, especially when I have so many holiday looks to pull off. Thankfully, I know just the thing. And it's in stock nearby. Hydrated skin is a gift to everyone. No wrapping needed. Happy holidays to me.
Apparently that's real.
It was well produced, so it has to be real for something. But Josh, the only thing that I can think of is that Google has realized who their base is.
Yeah,
that's it. I mean, they're like, you know what? The conservatives have stopped using our products. Normal people have stopped using our services. We're just going to go hard in the paint with who our demographic is, and that's their demographic.
They're big enough that they don't have to give up that virtue signal,
Yeah, they don't even need to do that. You're right. They don't even need to do this.
They don't have to, but they do. They want to remind the type of people that dress up like that. so weird. But anyways, yeah, it's good to have a reminder. The enemies did not go away.
No.
They're doing their weird games still. And my guess is that, even though Trump won, and we're hoping he makes it to inauguration and beyond, they're just going to wait it out. They're just not going to go away. We see corporations dropping DEI, and that's cool and all, but don't be fooled.
Well, we'll know. I mean, you're right. There's a lot of corporations dropping this DEI stuff. Robbie Starbuck has been exposing a lot of the legacy American companies, Harley Davidson and John Deere and places like that.
Yeah.
And really trying to get them to get rid of this woke stuff inside their companies. And we'll know next June. We'll know next June how powerful that is when we start seeing the logos change to rainbow colors or not. So I don't know who. I've never seen any company pander to a as tiny a demographic as that ever. It's incredible.
It is weird.
Yeah. So, but we cater to you folks. We're on every platform, wherever you're at. WND wants to be there. So we're on Rumble, we're on Telegram, we're on YouTube, we're on IG, we're over on Facebook. And you need to go to the Rumble channel. Josh, take it away.
Yeah, we'd love you to follow us over on the Rumble channel by hitting the green button. You have to sign up to do that, which is kind of lame, but do it anyway, okay? Because Rumble's great. And our X account is like the spot. And that's where we break all the news, all the WorldNet Daily stories from, worldnetdaily.com. We'd love you to go over there, click the QR code. It'll take you to our account. You can follow us over there. That's a great news source. And another type of news that we serve up over at our Instagram account is the stuff that's also kind of like, we have this weird pop culture thing going on now that never quite goes away, and it involves a lot of scandal. You're going to see that stuff. Notably Jay-Z. What's going on with Jay-Z now? Jay-Z is a hip hop artist. If you don't know, he seems to be getting pulled into accusations that have affected P. Diddy. I feel like an adult saying these names. But yeah, you can see a lot of that over at Instagram. And if you watch this far, we really appreciate it.
Woo, woo, love it. I had to mute myself because I get so excited when you name all those places.
Every day. Every time we do it. Yeah.
That's right. All right, good. All right, folks. Well, we'll be back here on Friday. I love a good Friday show. I always love the Friday show.
Yep.
I don't know what to expect. I mean, I like, we didn't even talk about Syria today.
No,
like,
Friday.
It's like a forgotten thing. It's crazy.
We'll recap Syria Friday. We're kind of waiting for it to settle. No big deal. Just like it's a huge country in the Middle East, overthrown overnight. No big deal. We'll come back to it. We'll have some good intel.
And it will be a Friday the 13th for all you spooky folks out there that like to follow that stuff. So I don't really care about that. But great to have you here. Thank you so much for joining us. Thanks for commenting. John Wick, as always. Did we get any other commenters today? Just John?
Yeah.
Some good
San Mark gave us a couple comments.
Yes.
So this is about the Trump image, saying not sure he wants to be in the Rogues Gallery. So guys, if you commented, we really appreciate it. Thanks, guys. And we'll see you Friday.
God bless.
We do a little trolling. It's called We Do a Little